at Clune Arena as Belmont comes in out of the Missouri Valley Conference and knocks off Air Force by a score of 79-71. And Brian German, this game didn't start that way. Air Force got off to a great start, 13-2, but tip your cap to Belmont. They played their game. Two keys in this one: 3-point field goals and free throws.
Absolutely. 3-point field goals and free throws, and maybe a little bit more experience just from this Belmont team. I know they've got guys that are playing for Belmont for the first time, a lot of them, but they got graduate players who've been in games like this, and they weren't phased. They were down 13-2. They said, let's run our offense, let's get it going, and eventually they got it going, and they turned everything around, and they did it from behind both lines, the three-point line and the free throw line.
Well, the numbers and the highlights certainly bear that out as you look at the final stats. Field goal percentage, yeah, Air Force shot the ball well, but rebounding, a bit of an advantage, but that 42 on the three-point field goal percentage, huge.
Yeah, the Falcons, and I'm not sure the Falcons could do a whole heck of a lot. Belmont just caught fire, and they moved the ball so well that they had open three-point shots, and they banged them home, 42%. They did a great job from the three-point line. That is 13 of 31 from behind the arc, and they did a great job from the free throw line as well. And they got 21 points off of those 10 Air Force turnovers. That's a big difference in this basketball game.
Well, let's go to the highlights in this one. Ethan Taylor, as he always does, brings a lunch pail type mentality. Tough shot there for two.
Fell in amongst the photographers. Ethan ended up with 15 points and 10 rebounds on the day. Another double-double for this outstanding senior on this basketball team. But here's a player we hope to see even more and more of. That's sophomore Caleb Walker. Took it down the lane with a bucket there, and another one later.
One of four players in double figures with the Falcons. 17 points for Walker.
A great game for him. Career high 17 points. But here's some of what we were talking about. Lundblad hits from outside for Belmont. He had 10 points. Just knocking down threes, and they weren't rattling them in, Josh. They were just swish, nothing but net on a lot of these. Here's Orm driving the lane, and that set up the three-pointers again.
Yeah, Orm, one of five players in double figures for Belmont who hit 13 threes, and they come in here, the third meeting all-time between these schools, and it's Belmont coming out with the victory 79-71. But if you're Joe Scott, we talked about it being mirror images of one another in terms of style of play, but the ability of Belmont to move the basketball, that has got to be a huge teaching opportunity for Joe Scott.
I would think so. If the Falcons can move the ball around maybe a little bit more. It seemed at times tonight that the Falcons were stagnant, standing around waiting for those cuts, whereas you saw Belmont, they were forcing the issue, driving into the lane, then passing out, things of that nature. We'll see if something happens, and maybe this sparks something for Joe Scott and his Falcons.
Well, for Air Force, they kick off the four-game homestand at home, 1-3, but they go on the road at Cal, perhaps a little bit of adversity, a chance for this team to bond together and get back into the W column.
Hopefully they can do that, and I know Joe Scott and his coaching staff are going to be talking to these guys. You know, they're young guys. They're counting on those two guys in the middle, Selahusky and Walker. They're counting on them. Bo Becker, one of their senior leaders on this team, is out. He's probably going to be out for another month or so. So they've got to find a way to create more opportunities for these young guys to learn, and when they learn, they're going to get better, and the team will get better as well.
Well, partner, it has been a fun one tonight here.
Great time, Josh.
Air Force, a tough one as they fall to Belmont, 79-71. For my partner, Brian German, and our entire crew, this is Josh Howe saying so long from the United States Air Force Academy. The Bruins win it on a Friday night. Good night, everybody.